to our LAMDA Showcase. We've been running the LAMDA programme at SMH for 7 years and the popularity of the programme continues to grow and grow each year.
So, what we've got for you this evening is a wonderful selection from across the age ranges, from pre-prep all the way up to RUDS, of our LAMDA pupils. They'll be performing verse and prose all the way up to acting through musical theatre, and they're all at different stages, some still in rehearsal, some polished, and you get a wide spectrum of what we do here at the school.
I'd just like to say, before you see some of the performances, a huge thank you to all the parents and the staff for their support of the LAMDA programme and our wonderful teachers, especially Mrs Jenny Hodkinson and Mrs Dina Stannard for all their brilliant work, past and present. So now that all is left to say is sit back, relax and enjoy the show.
Allow me to describe myself. I live upon a dusty shelf with other sorts who do the same. I have a title to my name, yet wear a jacket without sleeves. I'm not a plant tie of leaves. It's also true I'm not a tree, or that is what I used to be. I'm full of words but cannot speak. I sometimes vanish for a week, then return to my dear nook. You've guessed it, I'm a lively book. The robin makes a laughing sound. It makes me stop and look around to see just what the robin sees. Fresh new leaves on twigs of trees, a straw the high branch on which to rest, a safe high lace to hold its nest. The robin makes a laughing sound. I stop, I always look around. Pop, pop, poppity pop, shake and rattle and shake. The golden grains they bounce and break. To fluffy fluffiness, poppity pop, bursting and banging the pop is top. Pop, poppity pop, pop, pop. The yellow kernels, I see them grow, white as cotton or flakes of snow. Poppity pop, pop, pop. Oh, oh ho, they frolic and fly about and suddenly turn themselves inside out. Poppity pop, pop, pop. The pop is full and we'll have to stop. Pile the bowl with a tempting treat. Children come, it's time to eat. My sister was spotty, real spotty all over. She was plastered with spots from her head to her toes. She had spots on the parts that her bathing suit covered, spots on her eyelids, spots on her nose. I never knew chickenpox could be so interesting. It seemed such a shame to waste all those spots. So when Jodie was speaking and no one was looking, I got a blue pen and connected her dots. There isn't time to do the things you want to do, with all the mountain tops to climb and all the woods to wander through and all the seas to sail upon and everywhere there is to go, all the people, everyone live upon the earth to know there's only time to know a few, to do a few, and then sit down and make a rhyme about the rest you want to do. I have to take these stupid piano lessons every Wednesday after school from old Miss Campbell. She's like the big tall lady who lives over Euclid Avenue. She has a great big grand piano in her living room where she teaches a whole bunch of kids. Her house is always freezing in the winters. Miss Campbell sits next to me on the piano bench and yells at me when I make a mistake. I hate piano lessons. I tell my mom I do, but she doesn't listen. Nobody listens to kids. I am on the beginner's book. It's supposed to be real easy, but it isn't. It's real hard. The hardest part for me is keeping the right time. I can't, even though Miss Campbell counts out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So far, after almost a year, all I can play are these dumb little pieces. Mostly with my right hand, but because my left hand doesn't work right. I have to practice every day too. While other kids are out playing, I have to stay in and do my piano lessons. I keep telling my mom how much I hate it, but she says I have talent. Know what? Having talent isn't any fun. My friends, tonight we are joined by some very special guests. the lightest, the smallest, the creepiest, crawliest musicians in the empire. Please, we have flies, we have lice and mouses, the tiniest pests you shoo from your houses. Please welcome them warmly. They've travelled so far, ladies and gentlemen, the Insect Orchestra. We have ants on the strings, fleas on the flutes, on horns the aphids. They don't have a lot of puff boys and girls, but they certainly know how to use it. Madam Housefly or oboe solos, wonderful Zelda, Monsieur Beetle on the tuba. And last but not least, the fabulous mosquitoes on the percussion. Oh dear! It appears our clarinet player's escaped. Can anyone? Aha! I've got it in my sight now. Please hold still. I assure you this will hurt you far more than it hurts me. Smack! Gotcha. Ready, Cecil? Ready in there? Try it bien, and so it begins.
I didn't really think much of Mum's idea. Shh! I didn't really think much of Mum's idea. It was a bit like sitting in a graveyard, but only not as exciting. The trouble is, in a library reading room, some blokes have already finished all the best magazines, and you're left with dynamic things like the Pig Breeders Monthly Gazette and such like. I got stuck with the Bell Ringers Quarterly, which wasn't one of my hobbies. Nobody else seemed to be enjoying themselves either, except the bloke eating a sandwich in the corner. I reckoned he wasn't a tramp at all, but a secret agent heavily disguised, ready to pass on some secret documents to his contact who was lying dead in the reference section, a knife in his ribs. Realising this, attracted the most trustworthy looking party in the room. My dad. What is it, Dad? No, Dad. And now, as Captain Williams nears the summit of the third highest mountain never before climbed by man, he pauses for a moment through sheer exhaustion. And now, Major Fraser, ace daredevil mountaineer, to the rescue. Here comes the gallant Major Fraser, bringing the injured Captain Williams to safety. Me, Dad? Yes, Dad. Sorry, Dad.
Sometimes you have to be a little bit naughty. Just because you find that life's not fair, it doesn't mean that you just have to grin and bear it. If you always take it on the chin and wear it, nothing will change. Even if you're little, you can do a lot too. Mustn't let a little thing like little stop you. If you sit around and let them get on top of you, might as well be saying you think that it's okay, and that's not right. Cinderella in the cellar didn't have to do much work, 'cause I can tell her grandmother was Jupiter's fairy. Sadly, her world got a lot less scary. What if you didn't have a fairy to fix it? Sometimes you have to make a little bit of mischief. Just because you find that life's not fair, it doesn't mean that you just have to grin and bear it. If you always take it on the chin and wear it, nothing will change. Even if you're little, you can do a lot too. Mustn't let a little thing like little stop you. If you sit around and let them get on top of you, might as well be saying you think that it's okay, and that's not right.
Good morning, birds. Good morning, trees. Oh, what a lovely day. The sun's so big, it hurts my eyes. But really, that's okay. A new day with things to do. So many plans to make. I've had 6 cups of coffee, so I'm really wide awake. I've always been a morning person, a morning girl. Hooray! Cheep, 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 cheep. Hooray! Cheep, 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 cheep. Hooray! Cheep, 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 cheep. Hooray! Good morning, dear. Say, have you heard? Today's my wedding day. I haven't met my husband yet, but I'm hopeful anyway. I'll wear a gown, we'll Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough, there's always some precautions. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Daddy, I want a squirrel. Daddy, I want a squirrel and a golden goose. Daddy, I want a squirrel, a golden goose, and an Oompa Loompa. Daddy, I want a feast. I want a bean feast. Cream and donuts and fruitcakes with no nuts. So good you can go nuts now. I want war. I want a party. Macaroons and a million balloons and performing baboons and now. I want the world. I want the whole world. I want to lock it all up in my pocket. It's my bar of chocolates now. I want today. I want tomorrow. I want to wear my braids in my hair, and I don't want to share it. I want a party with roomfuls of laughter, 10,000 tons of ice cream, and if I don't get the things I am after, I'm going to scream! 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 I want the works, I want the whole works, presents and prizes and sweets and surprises of all shapes and sizes. Now, don't care how, I want it now. Don't care how, I want it now. Ever lie awake at night, just between the dark and the morning light, searching for the things you used to know, looking for the place where the lost things go. Do you ever dream or reminisce, wondering where to find what you truly miss? Well, maybe all those things that you love so are waiting in the place where the lost things go. Memories you've shared, gone for good you feared, they're all around you still, though they've disappeared. Nothing's really left or lost without a trace. Nothing's gone forever, only out of place. So maybe now the dish and my best spoon are playing hide and seek just behind the moon, waiting there until it's time to show. Spring is like that now, far beneath the snow, hiding in the place where the lost things go. God, our Heavenly Father, oh God, and my Father, who is also in heaven, can you find me in the night? Papa, are you near me? Papa, can you hear me? Papa, can you help me not be frightened? Looking at the skies, I seem to see a million eyes. Which ones are yours? Where are you now? The distant day has waved goodbye and closed its doors. The night is so much darker. The wind is so much colder. The world I see is so much bigger now that I'm alone. Papa, please forgive me. Try to understand me. Papa, don't you know I had no choice? Can you hear me praying? Anything I'm saying, even though the night is filled with voices. I remember everything you taught me, every book I've ever read. Can all the words in all the books help me to face what lies ahead? The trees are so much taller, and I feel so much smaller. The moon is twice as lonely, and the stars are half as bright. Papa, how I love you. Papa, how I need you. Papa, how I miss you. Kissing me good night.
Alfie, now that we're friends, I've decided to make you my new project. I know I don't have to do that. That's what makes me so nice. Whenever I see someone less fortunate than I, let's face it, who isn't less fortunate than I, my tender heart tends to start to bleed. And when someone needs a makeover, I simply have to take over. I know exactly what they need. And even in your case, though it's the toughest case I yet to face, don't worry, I'm determined to succeed. Follow my lead, and yes, indeed, you will be popular. You're gonna be popular. I'll teach you the proper poise, and you talk to boys, little ways to flirt and buzz. Oh, I'll show you what shoes to wear, how to fix that hair, everything that really counts to be popular. You're gonna be popular. You'll hang with the right cohorts. You'll be good at sports. Know the slang you've got to know. So let's start, 'cause you've got an awfully long way to go. Don't be offended by my frank analysis. Think of it as personality dialysis. I've chosen to become a palace.
emotions. You lose your head so easily.
Do I, Majesty?
You do indeed. One of these days I can see you're going to lose it altogether.
I'm sure I'll do my utmost to please you, Majesty.
When it isn't utmost enough, I've more than enough to do without spending my afternoon searching all over the countryside looking for my Chancellor.
But it was so late, Majesty, and I knew you'd be annoyed if we ventured to begin without you, and before I
Will you speak plainly? Will you speak audibly? Will you make yourself understood? Start.
the play, Majesty.
Play? I've no wish to play, Chancellor.
Indeed, no, Majesty, but you see...
Indeed, yes, Chancellor. Now listen carefully. Pay attention. While you've been hopping around in your backyards, hiding and seeking, a crime has been committed.
A crime, Majesty.
A burglary, Chancellor.
burglary, Majesty.
At the Royal Palace, Chancellor.
The palace, Majesty.
Before we go any further into the matter, will you be obliged to stop repeating every word I say like a stuttering parrot? And don't start all that business again. This afternoon, Chancellor, 4 thieves broke into the Royal Palace vaults and stole 4 chests of gold.
Don't say.
I have said so, haven't I, you burbling idiot?
And that's when I found it. I wasn't really looking for it, Johnny's scarf. I stole it ages ago. Let's not get into this blame thing. Look, I know it's wrong to steal, but all I intended was to borrow it, just to show it to my friends. And I just put it back before Johnny even noticed it had gone. It feels like years ago, and I'd still blame myself to this day. If I'd not taken the scarf, none of this would have happened. Johnny was my hero. He was 7 years older than me. I worshipped the ground he walked on. Johnny was already 8 when my mum met my dad. And he was bright. No, I mean very bright. He did very well at school. But his main passion was football. Leeds United. He was obsessed. What Johnny didn't know about football wasn't worth knowing. He knew every player who'd ever played for Leeds United. Every game they'd ever played, every manager. He had all the kit. Shorts, socks, hats, gloves, snack boxes, water bottles, everything. But his most prized possession was this scarf. It was Cantona's. You know, Eric Cantona, from the 1980s. Dad bought it at an auction for hundreds of pounds. He wore it religiously to every game. It was show and tell at school, you see. Peter Johnson had bought David Beckham's autograph in. He was such a show-off. Then I thought of Johnny's scarf. That would wipe the smile off his face. But I knew Johnny would never let me have it. The only way was to borrow it. I don't know how I managed to sneak it out that Friday morning without anyone noticing. Not even Mum. It was brilliant. I felt so important. I was buzzing all day. The only trouble was that I left it at school. So when it came to the Manchester versus Leeds United the next day, the scarf was nowhere to be seen. I don't know much about what happened that day. I kept mostly out of the way. All I know is that Johnny went crazy, looking for it everywhere. I'd never seen him like that before. And we were late leaving. Very late. So late that Dad had gone off without them, so they had to arrange to get picked up by a friend who also had a season ticket. It was the knock on the door that I remember most vividly. Mum was in the kitchen, making shepherd's pie. The 2 policemen were stood on the doorstep outside. He never made it to the match. The driver that hit him was 3 times over the limit. didn't stand a chance. The scarf stayed at school for ages, until one of the teachers gave it to me one day. "Oh, isn't this yours?" he said, and handed it to me. I felt sick. I couldn't bear to look at it. I hid it at the bottom of my bag, and I haven't seen it since. Not until today. So I'm putting it back in the box. Where it belongs.
I saved every letter you wrote me. For the moment I read them, I knew you were mine. You said you were mine. I thought you were mine. Do you know what Angelica said when we saw your first letter arrive? She said, "Be careful with that one, love. He will do what it takes to survive." When your words flooded my senses, your sentences left me defenseless. You built me palaces out of paragraphs. You built cathedrals. I'm rereading the letters you wrote me. I'm searching and scanning for answers in every line. Some kind of sign when you were mine. The words you You published the letters she wrote you. You told the whole world how you brought this girl into our bed. It's clearing your name. You have ruined our lives. Do you know what Angelica said when she read what you've done? She said you married an Icarus. He has flown too close to the sun. When your words obsess like your legacy, your sentences bordered on senseless, and you are paranoid in every paragraph. How they perceive you. I'm erasing myself from the narrative. Let future historians wonder how Eliza reacted when you broke her heart. You tore it all apart. I'm watching it burn. Watching it burn. The words don't write my heart. The word has no place in our bed. They don't get to know what I've said. I'm burning the memories, burning the letters that might have redeemed you. You forfeit a right to my heart. You forfeit a place in our bed. You'll sleep in your office instead with all of the memories of when you were mine. I hope that you
You want answers? You want answers? You can't handle the truth. Because the truth is, we live in a world that has walls. And those walls need to be guarded by men with guns. Who's gonna do it? You, Lieutenant Weinberg? I have a greater responsibility than you could possibly fathom. You weep for Santiago, and you curse the Marines. You have that luxury. The luxury of the blind. The luxury of not knowing what I know. That Santiago's death, while tragic, probably saved lives. My existence, while grotesque and incomprehensible to you, saves lives. You can't handle it! Because deep you don't talk about at parties. You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. We use words like honor, code, loyalty. We use those words as a backbone to a life spent defending something. You use them as a punchline. I have neither the time nor the inclination to explain myself to a man who rises and sleeps under the blanket of the very freedom I provide, then questions the manner in which I provide it. I prefer you just say thank you and went on your way. Otherwise, I suggest you pick up a weapon and stand and post. Either way, I don't give a damn what you think you're entitled to. I did the job you sent me to do. You goddamn